Is press dead? I keep hearing this all the time. Press is dead, press is dead.
Well, press changes. It just changes. It's the
It's
same
not
thing. It's
dead.
storytelling.
It's
It's
not dead.
storytelling. It just goes from one format to another. And
Exactly.
you can tell stories on TikTok. Like you can tell stories in whatever platform that's out there. So press in itself is never going to die. It's just a matter of staying ahead of the platforms and not being shy of like new things, trying new things.
Exactly, because we all like reading about things, don't we? We all like to discover new things. That's why people still read books, they read stuff online, newspapers, magazines, whatever. We still really like to read up about somebody or an artist that we love. And I love reading really interesting interview pieces. If there's an artist or a band, even people that I don't really know, I like the behind the scenes stuff. Like, tell me how you start your day. What's your favourite meal? Who do you listen to when you switch off? I love that sort of depth to an artist, and that's how band or whenever. I love that sort of thing.
Yeah, because people want to learn about the lives, like the things that you don't want to show as an artist, but the things that people want to hear about.
Yeah.
And things like controversy always sells, but
exactly.
You've got to find a way of like overcoming your kind of fears as well, and allowing people to see all of that.
Definitely.
That you think is probably boring, but it's for other people it's kind of interesting. Like the B-roll.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're gonna, I don't know, a question is like, who would you invite round for a last supper? What celebrity guests will be round your table? What's your signature meal that you cook? I love all that sort of stuff, and so and your fans and other fans will too. I think absolutely. I think let's not give up on stuff like that. But obviously also discovering music. There's nothing better than discovering music on a Spotify playlist, or on YouTube when you just happen to be listening to a previous artist and it's still on in the background and it's like 5-10 minutes down the line and it's another completely different artist and you're like, wow, what is this? What about placement in brands and TV and stuff like that? That's quite powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, going back to that being interesting and having a story. Like we recently talking to Gucci, and they're asking us about artists that are what's the most quirky thing you found about one of your artists, and it's like, what do you mean, like what does that mean? And it's things like, are they interested in like knitting or like train spotting or something? Just things that are a little bit like out of the norm. That's where the spotlight is right now.
Definitely.
And if you have those interesting extras, like, or you're interested in a certain type of theme or whatever it is, like allow the world to see that.
Yeah, and how do you extract that from somebody? Because say, for example, you're focused on your music, but actually, I don't know, you used to play flute and you used to be an Olympic swimmer or whatever, I don't know, skateboarder, BMXer, past life cake baker, whatever. How do you kind of bring that to the forefront, and when do you know when to bring it to the forefront of your story? How do you do that?
I think you just do it the most natural way you can. I mean, you could start with your TikTok channel. Your music videos could have elements of that in. You could work with influencers that are of that theme.
Yeah.
And that will present you in a certain way. So I think it's understanding what you stand for. If you were to describe the 3 things you stand for, and you were to put one word for each of them, what would those words be?
That's really interesting. Yeah. We had a friend actually we did this with, didn't we? And that
we did
I
this
think
exercise.
The 3 core words was Greg's, because he loves the Greg's. What was the other one? Poet and Adidas, I think.
I think lad.
Yeah.
So if you combine those 3 things together, and then you can find the channels to present those things in, like what sort of content would you go down on each of those with each of those words. So that's a good way to build your brand and to know what you stand for. But it is important because people need to recognize you, because they always say, oh, that artist that likes this, or that artist that does that.
Yeah. Sounds like
that, and they're into this, and they look like it. So it's like you need something for people to latch onto as well.
And then you talk about TikTok. Obviously, the services we provide, we're always at the forefront. We're quite forward thinking. I think a lot of companies that we have that we consider or don't consider our competitors probably only offer one service. Why do we offer more than one service, do we think? Again,
it's like trying to find what's relevant to the artist and using the platforms that are the most current. So obviously TikTok is been huge now for a while, and that's why we moved into it. But But there'll be other platforms, and I think it's having that open mind and trying things on all different types of platforms. It's a way to try and reach fans in the most authentic way you can. There's going to be different aspects of you, different sides to you, different faces of your brand, and different platforms will help you present those different sides to your brand.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things actually that came out for us during the pandemic, we only ever do things we're really passionate about or fully experiencing. And one of the things we kept getting asked during the pandemic was radio. Can we provide radio services? And funny enough, that's when we launched it, because obviously loads of people are at home, more listening time, and actually radio listeners went through the roof. And actually that's when we introduced the service, and that's actually been a really good service for us. So it's like sometimes some of the more traditional channels are coming back to the forefront as well. So not to write off things like radio and press is still probably one of our most successful services and popular services as well. Then there's TikTok. TikTok was quite a new one for us. We launched it last year. So if you're an independent artist and you know that TikTok's there, you go on TikTok, you scroll through TikTok, but you haven't actually set yourself an artist band profile yet. I take it from the stance of a CEO, so an entrepreneur in the music industry, and I like to kind of showcase myself in. It's very different from how I do it on Instagram. I always think take a platform and then carve out a different facet to your personality. So on Instagram, you may want to show one side. On TikTok, you may want to show a completely other side. You don't have to sing and dance and do silly things on TikTok. It's not just about that. It's actually like, I think the platform's come quite far now. You have got free reign to be who you want to be. So I think as a band, as an artist, maybe just discipline yourself to do one post a day. Just get something up there, even if it's literally you with a pen and pad scribbling words, and that's just like showcasing how you normally structure or write a song. Or it could be you kind of walking to your local coffee shop and showing that little insight into you, kind of making your way there, and you seeing your kind of natural habitat and your setting. Just make it natural. Okay.
Just on the point of natural, I think a lot of artists, they're like frustrated. I was like, I've got all this music to write. I'm stuck in. I want to be in the studio. I don't want to be doing like what Cardi B's doing or I don't want to be doing what Nicki Minaj is doing or whoever it is. I just want to write, and I get that frustration, because you were in it to write music. Like, what is all this extra stuff? And some people love it. Like, don't get me wrong, and they've got an amazing way of presenting it. And but I think if you are that artist, the best thing to do is to document. Like, just document. Like, don't create.
No.
Instead of thinking of new concepts to like, oh, I'm going to present to this, I'm going to show this side. Just document, and that's how you present your most authentic self. And if you're in the studio, like writing, have someone come in for the day, and that's another thing. You can if you don't like doing it regularly, film it all in 3 or 4 days. Yeah. So you get like a 3 months worth of content done in 3 or 4 days.
Or set up a tripod and a camera in your studio and literally just have it there and have it rolling all day. So you don't even have to. You'll forget it's there. Kind of how we're doing here, actually. We've got cameras scattered around this room. We kind of forget they're here half the time, don't we? Because we want to make it as natural as we can.
Yeah.
And that's what we recommend you guys do as well. So try and make it as natural as we can.
Yeah, 100%.
What about, so if an artist or band are thinking about working with a PR company, what should they consider? Can everyone work with an agency?
First off, you need to be ready.
What does that mean?
PR agents might just sign you up when you're not ready, and we try our best to obviously work with music that's ready, and we know we can get good results for. But you need that self-awareness. I would say put it out on SoundCloud or whatever it is, and just test the water. Like see what, if you get a few listens here and there, are people commenting, and if it sounds like, oh, there's a little bit of hype here, like starting, then go to PR agent, and they can add fuel to the fire, take you to that next level. But I think having a half-cut demo, expecting miracles, is not it, because you paid money for PR is not a good idea. So being ready is, even that send it to people you don't know, because your friends will always tell you they love it, or maybe they like it, or I don't know. You maybe got honest friends, I don't know. But I think it's having
probably an AI tool that tells you, like, can unpick it. I don't know.
Yeah, but just having that feedback and then knowing, okay, this is ready. And I'm not getting too precious as well, especially artists. They get so precious on their first releases, and I think staying in the studio is always a good thing. Like, keep writing, keep producing. There's no rush. Like, what's the rush? What?
That's true. It's very true, actually. But then at the same time, you could be trying to perfect your art so much that it never quite gets out there, which is also a bit of a shame. There's probably so many gems out there that are still on just people's desktops. But I always say, make sure you've got a couple of tracks ready to go. Don't just rely on one.
I would say, like, your question was about whether to get PR. I would say, put it out, yes, but decide when to get a PR based on, like, you know, which is your favorite track that you think is doing well. Don't necessarily need it for any demo that you put out.
No, true. When people ask me this question, and they do a lot, I always think, you know, when you think it's ready for PR, it's probably ready. But obviously, most PR companies probably will pick it up regardless. So make sure that you get some feedback from external people just to make sure that it's right. You've got to prime yourself, make sure you've got some great press pictures ready to go, that you've really honed in on one social media platform. So whether that's Instagram, even if it's Facebook still, you know, Facebook is still so relevant. Maybe it's LinkedIn, maybe that's where you like to be. But just focus on one social media channel, have decent press pictures. I've had some artists with the greatest music and they've literally got the worst thumbnail ever. Sometimes I look at a band based on their photo and know whether I like the music.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, thumbnails are massive right now. Like, thumbnails, like, I know myself, like, I get clickbaited all the time by a thumbnail. It's really bad. I mean, like, I really should be looking past it, but the thumbnail looks like amazing. I've seen people use like superheroes and then put their face on it and things like that, and you're instantly cheesy but clickable. Like, that's the thing. It's like whatever it takes. But I think getting creative with the thumbnails is hot for right now, especially for YouTube and YouTube Shorts and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So Shorts as well is getting more traction. It's trying to drive people obviously away from TikTok. So actually, it's probably the next newest place as an independent artist to be discovered and generate new fans. And I think also YouTube have lowered all their thresholds as well in terms of when you can start getting paid. I'm sure it's around 1,000 subscribers or followers now. So I think YouTube is a good place to start having a little look round as well. But yeah, great press pictures, great thumbnails, one good social media channel, maybe have a few tracks. Don't just have one. Like, sometimes we know with amazing artists, we go all in on that one track. They've had some great press, and then they literally don't put anything out for a couple of years. It's a real shame, because actually the press and the fans are like, come on, give us more, and then they're forgotten about. It's, you know, we live in such a fast-moving world now that something catastrophic is literally forgotten about a few days later.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, we're on this continual drip of needing to be entertained.
Exactly.
The dopamine rush that we all are lined up to.
Yeah.
How do you feel about AI coming in? I know it's a new thing for a lot of people, but how do I
feel? Love it. Yeah, embrace it. I'm all for it. I'm like, anything to make our lives better, faster, more productive, to do better jobs. Like, why not? And actually, I wrote an article on ChatGPT, didn't I, recently for a magazine about how it can enhance the your kind as an artist, how it can really enhance your relationship with your fans, how it can really support you in terms of how you kind of communicate and market yourself. I'm proper thumbs up for AI. What about you?
You actually use ChatGPT, right, to help you write an article about Chat, which is the thing, because like, I when it first, all the hype was blowing up, and I remember I'd actually read something. This is a bit of an interesting story. I read something. I'm a bit of a nerd, techie kind of.
God, he reads so much.
Geeky kind of stuff. But I was looking into the model behind ChatGPT, and it was released by Google in 2017. It was called the Transformer model, and they'd come up with this research paper. They released it, actually, Google. That became the inspiration for what is now ChatGPT.
Okay.
And so they used almost their research against them in a way, because they built this business that is now, it's dominating, isn't it? So yeah, I was interested in that, and I thought, okay, what can we do to try and use AI rather than run from it and be afraid of it? And I think there's so much headline media stuff that scaremongering, like what's happened to
We're
Drake.
going to have no jobs, and like that's it, we're doomed.
Drake's album's been imitated, and it's better than Drake, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's an amazing tool. I think we need to use it to enhance music production, music promotion, rather than replace it, because I think the fear is being replaced.
Yeah.
But it's really the opportunity is to enhance.
Definitely.
So I think that for me, I'm quite excited about it. I think the robots aren't going to take over just yet. I think there's going to be a utopian window before that happens. I think all artists should be on it now, embracing every tool they can.
Yeah.
Whether it's like DALL-E, Midjourney, or ChatGPT, or some of the sound production apps. There's one called Boomy that was recently in a lawsuit with Spotify, but there's amazing tools for promotion and production of music.
No, there's lots, and I think sadly what it will do for creativity, and like I guess if all your tracks can be written and they sound better than the original thing, then that's going to be a sad. When we get to that point, that'll be slightly sad, and then there'll be an AI PR in it and all that sort of stuff. So maybe we'll all be made redundant as humans, which is like a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
But what next? So final few questions, I suppose, is where are we going next? Are we going to make it into another 7 years? We just celebrated 7 years. What next for Liberty?
Well, a lot of exciting things on the horizon. We're going to be embracing a lot of the new AI tools to try and figure out how we can help artists promote their releases to an even higher level. Looking at any kind of new platforms that are coming in and trying to get on them as quickly as possible. We have an app that we're about to launch soon that's going to
I'm excited about that.
cut out a lot of the friction and things when it comes to promotion, make things a lot faster and easier, and be able to connect with influencers and curators straight away. So that's really exciting.
And I think for us especially, just re-enhancing and reaffirming the whole collaboration community. For me, community has become collaboration has become like my two massive words that I live by. Certainly we're halfway through 2023. And I want to do more of that. So we've launched a subscription model, which really enhances and is the epitome of those words, right? So we'd love to bring you into our community so you can all hang out with each other and all support each other. As an artist, it's quite a lonely place. Sometimes it feels quite competitive. Let's bring you together. Let's all support each other. So yes, that's a big thing for us. And doing more kind of for the industry. We really want to do right by the industry, don't we? One of the big things we want to do is support mental health. So we did quite a bit of this last year, didn't we? Where we actually had mental health wellbeing Wednesdays, where anyone in the industry could come and get involved in a webinar where there'd be a meditation expert or like a wellbeing expert or whatever. And we're going to do more of that. We really want to give back to this industry.
And talking about community again, like the artists that we work with, they're really starting to think about their fan base rather than not as a global thing, but as a community.
Yeah.
I think that's
micro communities.
Micro communities.
Even if you've got 10 fans, that's fine. Just make sure you speak to them all and engage with them all. And
find out who they are. Like, this isn't about taking over the world. It's about building community. And it's like, I think that's what the artists that are most successful now are really nurturing those fans and interacting with them. And AI tools are going to help with that as well, to be able to track like certain engagements and sentiment as well. Like, are people talking about you in a positive way or a negative way? Like we can see that now. Where are the trends? Where is it best to advertise your music? AI can help with that. So I think as we become more community led, we'll start to use these tools for that to help with building those communities. So,
and I think for us, it's to have some fun. Like, there's no point living this life without having lots of fun. So, let's all just have a big laugh and a big party.
Have fun with your fans. Like, get to know them. Even if you got two fans, like invite them to write lyrics for you. Like, I always find that's interesting.
That's well funny.
Yeah, or to contribute to ideas, content. And those two fans will actually be your biggest supporters, and they'll promote it to other people, and then other people they'll tell their people, those friends will tell their friends, and so on, and you start to grow. I think it's about the individuals and the community, not going global.
Definitely.
Yeah.